Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome here if you are new. If you are new here, my name is Molly. I am just really excited to be sitting down and filming because I haven't done like a proper sit down type video in a really long time. I've done like lots of vlog style videos. I think that's pretty much all I've done. But today I'm super excited because we are getting personal, and I love to get personal with you guys. I feel like that's one of my favorite things to do, and that's really like what makes me love doing YouTube, is just being so open and sharing my story and everything that goes on with me. So today we're going to be talking about how I got my period back after having hypothalamic amenorrhea. I used to be like really uncomfortable talking about this kind of stuff, like periods and women like secretive things, but I feel like it's 2021. We should feel comfortable to talk about this stuff. This is a part of life, and I feel like nobody should feel weird or ashamed for talking about any of that. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's just talk about it. I'm over feeling like you can't talk about things, and I'll give you a little history, like rundown session about me if you have no idea who I am and this is your first time watching me. Basically, I had an eating disorder for about like 6 to 7 years. I had anorexia and bulimia. I have a whole eating disorder story video. If you want to like dive into that with me, you can watch it. I will link it below for you guys. But in October of 2020, I went to the doctor because I had realized that I had lost my period for about 6 months at that point. And I just didn't really make it a priority. I just thought it was like, oh, whatever, it'll come next month, which is never okay. Like, if you miss a period, like, stay on top of it no matter what the case. I had some blood work done, and basically one of the glands in my head was not functioning properly. I don't remember what it is right now, but I'll remember it by the time this video goes up, and I'll post it. I'll write it on the screen. One of the glands in my head was not creating like hormones, and it wasn't functioning my body properly, and my like womanly body was not functioning. Like, I couldn't stimulate ovulation. I got the blood work done, and then they referred me to an endocrinologist to figure out what it was. And then basically I told her my history, like I have an eating disorder, this is what's happening, this is where I'm at with it. I had lost like 15 to 20 pounds at that point in a kind of a short amount of time. So I told her that. I told her like how much I worked out, which was very frequently. Like, I'll get into that later, but basically I told her everything, and she was like, you probably have hypothalamic amenorrhea. It's basically just like diagnosed based on your symptoms. It's not like you can't get like tested for it, but basically just diagnosed based off the symptoms you have based on previous testing. So she explained to me what it is, and if you don't know what it is, I'll put it on the screen for you to read. That day she was like, you literally need to gain weight right now. Like, you need to start your eating disorder recovery, and you need to like try to do this and gain weight, or else your body's not going to function. You're not going to be able to have children one day. So from that point forward, I was in eating disorder recovery, still am, and I got my period back. So now I'll dive into like kind of how I got my period back and how I got back on the right track after having hypothalamic amenorrhea. So I only had it for 6 months, because I think I lost my period, I want to say, hold on, I think it was like May. I want to say April to May, and then to October. So I lost it for like 6 months. I got my period back in December. So technically I had it for like 7 months, because I didn't have it in November either. I've had it monthly since then. Since the first time I've got it, I've had it, and it's March now, almost April. So I should be getting it this week, which is why I'm probably so hormonal this week, and I'm irritated at everything. I'm just gonna be as open and honest with you as I can. The very first thing I did was I started eating. And well, you know what? I'm not going to start with that, because I think that the most important thing I did was actually mentally. I had to make a complete mental shift when I was told this, and I was told I needed to gain weight. I had to completely shift my point of view. I had to first just let go of my eating disorder. I had to just let it go. Like, I couldn't. It's really hard to let something go that you're attached to for so long. Like, I had this eating disorder with me for years and years and years, and it's really difficult to kind of detach yourself. It's like a person. Like, it's like a breakup or losing someone. It's like you have to just detach yourself from the situation or from the person, and that's what I had to do. I had to, like, pretty much immediately I had to just cut it out. I was like, you know what? This has gone on way too long. Enough is enough. Like, I need to fix this now. Like, I can't live like this anymore. It's harming my body. It was a huge wake-up call for me when they told me I needed to gain weight. It was like everything I needed. Even though it was really hard in the moment, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I know that you might feel like if you're watching this video and you need to gain weight or you need to start your recovery too, I know that you're probably like, I can't do that. Like, I can't just say, like, I'm done with it. Like, I can't just let it go. But you can. I know that it does not feel like that right now. And I know that it's, like, the weirdest concept to think that you're not going to have this disorder with you anymore. And you're going to just be like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. But you can do it. If you put your mind to it, you can literally do anything you want. And I'm not saying that the disorder is not going to pop up in your head and it's not going to talk to you still, because mine does every single day, but you have to make the conscious choice every single day to choose recovery over choosing being mentally sick or physically sick, both. You have to choose yourself over the eating disorder, and that's what I do every day. And it's hard, but you can do it. So I don't want to hear you say you can't do it. I had to take control over it. I had to take the power back from the eating disorder, because the eating disorder takes all of the power from you, and it's so annoying. It's like, excuse me, buddy, you're not going to control me. Like, that's really what it does. If you have an eating disorder, you know, like, it literally takes all of the power and it controls every single thought that you have, every single move you make. Like, it's there. So you have to just take the power. You're going to say, no, I am in control of my body. I'm in control of my mind. You're not. And just literally push it away. That's what I do every single day. I mean, if I'm being honest, it doesn't come up as much as it used to. It's not like a every minute, every second thing, but it's present every day. But it's not like hounding me, because I've been doing it for like 6 months or 5 months now, and I'm getting used to it, and this is becoming my new life, which is great to say, and I'm so thankful. If you want to get your period back, you want to gain weight, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to be healthy again, mentally and physically, you have to be in control, and you have to know that you have control over yourself. But if we're talking like physically, like what I did day to day, what I'm still doing day to day, is I started eating again. Like, that was probably the biggest thing that helped me, is I started getting those calories in. I started eating, and I knew that I had to eat way more than I was eating. Now I eat freely, and I have breakfast. I have 3 different snack times. I have lunch, I have dinner, I have dessert. Sometimes I have a snack after dessert too, like if I'm feeling hungry at 10 p.m. I eat intuitively, and I listen to my body, and I don't count my calories, I don't track my food, I just eat what feels good, and if I'm hungry, I eat. Like, I cannot stress that enough. I want to do a whole video about intuitive eating, but like I said, it's that whole mindset shift that you have to do. You have to just be like, sorry guys, my camera died and the sun's gonna go down, so I have to film the rest of this video on my phone, and I never know where to look when I'm filming on my phone. So if I'm looking at the ground, like, literally just forgive me right now, because I don't know where to look. But yeah, so eating, that was literally the biggest thing I had to do. And like I said, it's really hard, but you have to choose it. You have to wake up every day and be like, I'm gonna eat what feels right to my body, and I'm gonna get the food into me, because this is what I have to do to be healthy. The next thing I did, which is also a very, very important factor, I was actually just talking to my endocrinologist yesterday, because I had a follow-up appointment with her yesterday, but she said that this was probably one of the most important things I could have done. Was I completely cut out exercise. I still don't do like workouts. I like go for walks and stuff, but I haven't done like a workout since October, because I think that was a really big part of what was causing my body to not function, because I wasn't getting enough food to fuel my body for the exercise that I was doing. I was literally working out for like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes multiple times a day, every single day. Like, I took like 1 rest day a week, but I was like really pushing the limit with my workout. Some days I would literally do like the treadmill, and then I would do the spin bike, and then I would do strength training, and then I would do yoga. Like, it was like it's like an addiction working out, especially if you have an eating disorder. Like, it can get bad, and it definitely definitely got bad. I would literally cry my eyes out when I worked out sometimes. I think I said this in a different video, but I would cry my eyes out because I thought I wasn't pushing myself hard enough. I would look in the mirror and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm not seeing the results I want, when literally my mind was like so distorted from how I really looked. Not healthy. It was just not a healthy thing. And another thing I want to say about eating disorders is that they're not, I feel like a lot of people think that eating disorders are just about like being unsatisfied with how you look, or, you know, like thinking you don't like your body or whatever. That is literally like maybe like this much of what it is. It's literally like not that. It was completely just a form of control for me. Like when my life felt stressful, when my life felt out of control, I would just go to this. It was like a literal coping mechanism for anything that was going on in my life, and it became such a habit that I would be completely engulfed in the eating disorder behaviors and the habits, and it became my whole life. So I cut out exercise, and that was really hard at first. I knew I had to do it and I knew it was necessary, but it was hard because I want to say like addicted to it, obsessed with it. And then I think like the last piece for me of the puzzle to get my period back was to start seeing my nutritionist and start, you know, really diving into all of this. And I can remember like my first nutritionist appointment, I was like, I really want to gain weight, but I want to gain it in a healthy way. Like, I don't want to be eating a bunch of junk food. I don't want to putting a bunch of junk in my body because it's super important to me, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, why? Like, why is that not okay? And I was like, well, I want to be healthy. And she's like, are you healthy now, the way you're eating now? I was like, no. And she was like, so who says you're not going to be healthy if you eat some cookies or ice cream? Like, she completely kind of just shifted the way I saw everything. It was exactly what I needed. Like, I got very lucky. I got lucky with my therapist. I got lucky with, well, my therapist took a few people to figure out who was right for me. But with my nutritionist, I definitely got very lucky, and I'm grateful for that because she helped me like see eating in a different light and see it in an intuitive eating aspect. But I think that if you are trying to start your eating disorder recovery, or you're trying to recover from hypothalamic amenorrhea and get your period back, I definitely think that reaching out to like a nutritionist who specializes in eating disorders and knows this kind of stuff is very important. Definitely like keeping up with it. So yeah, I hope that these tips help you. I know there wasn't many, but I think the biggest one and the most important one is that you have to make that mental shift. Like I said, you have to take power over your mind and your body, and you have to take the power away from the eating disorder. You know, people without eating disorders can get hypothalamic amenorrhea too from like exercising too much and stuff. So whatever it is, like, you have to just take power over your mind and say like, I got this. I'm gonna get my period back. I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna put in the work that needs to be done to achieve this. For some people, I cannot stress this enough. It's very different for everyone, and I want you to know that. For me, it took 2 months to get it back. But for some people, it takes years. Please don't compare yourself, and please don't worry. Like, just keep up with your doctors, keep up with everybody that you need to keep up with, and make sure everything's okay and going on the right track. You're okay. Don't compare yourself. Don't get down on yourself because it's slower. Just make sure you're doing everything you need to be doing, and talking to doctors and talking to people and getting support, because that is the biggest piece of it all, really, is like having good support and having doctors, nutritionists, therapists, whatever you need around you, family, friends, to help you with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that it helps somebody. Please know that if you are going through this as well, you can do it. You can get your period back. You got this, girl. I know you do. And I hope that you have a great day or night, whatever time it is when you are watching this. I will see you in my next video.